this is the DD-40. It is a 12.75U wide gasket mounted 40%. So if you're like, what the heck does 12.75 mean? It basically means just like the width right here. But yes, it is gasket mounted with six mounting points, or 6 gasket points. So there's 4 up here and then 2 down here. And then the neat thing about this one is it has a RGB strip right here. You see, there's a tiny strip right here. So in terms of layout options, you'll have both Win keyless and HHKV. This is the Win keyless option. The group by date for this that I was told is going to be September 12th to October 3rd. For the anodized colors, probably around 265 and then 280 for E-white. You'll have E-white, black, navy, and crimson. Let's look at the case. Okay, so here's the top side. Here is the LED strip. So here's the back. So it does have feet already on there. And then here is the USB side. So it is a lower USB port. I like how, look at that. Ooh. And then this is DD's logo, in case you guys didn't know. And then here's the side. So the side is really interesting. As you see, it doesn't go all the way across. It actually stops right before and kind of clips off. And then here's the front lip. If my camera will focus. Cool. No, I like the side a lot. You see how it cuts off right here? And then it goes around the screw point. I'm gonna show you the internals of the case so you all can see how the LEDs sit. So this is the back side of the top case. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but you see how this part sticks out? And then the diffuser is secured into the case like this. But yeah, so if you look right here, there's actually a part that is elevated. Hopefully there's not bleed, but it should be like this. I mean, but these are really, really bright, so I'll have to see after I build it and let you guys know, but yeah. That is one thing I noticed when looking at it. Okay, but let's look at the PCB. Only solder, hot swap will not be available. So, okay. So there's a couple things I wanted to point out about the PCB. So here's your RGB strip. So remember that I showed you right here. So this is what it looks like. So there is no perky LED. Here's the back. Daughter board. Okay, so this one, actually, Dede was walking me through it, but this one flashes a little differently. It uses a different MCU. It uses the RP2040 MCU. So different from the 32U4, right? So essentially what you have to do is you hold the reset button, and then once you've reset it, the PCB shows up on your computer as like a file, and then you drag the vial file in. So this is vial, by the way, not via vial. So you drag the vial file in and then it will flash it. So that's with this MCU. I don't know if you guys can see that. I will say for this build, the gaskets I am using is going to be different from the production run gasket. I had to substitute it, so in case anything is wonky with this build, it's probably because of the gaskets, but yeah. And here's the plate. So it does have the cutout for the RGB lights. Okay, so I plugged this in earlier and I want to show you guys. These lights are bright. Please shield your eyes if you're not ready for this. Ah! Look at it. So as you can see, this MF is bright. It is bright. I mean, you can turn it down, but yes. So in terms of layouts, this is the Wuque list. You can either do one big space bar or you can do two space bars, like a split. And then the HHKB, one big space bar, you can do two smaller space bars with one use on each side. So apparently for this one, you can buy extra tops. So if you wanted to do two-toned, that is going to be an option. Instead of buying like a complete keyboard, you could just buy the tops to do two tones and swap it out whenever you wanted. That is an option. Alright, so without further ado, let's just jump into the build. Gonna buy one of these. One chip challenge? What the heck? Paki one chip challenge 2022? What is this? It's like a black chip. It's a Carolina Reaper chip. No, Seawell, I don't want one of these. I don't want one of these. I don't want to have like flamin' hot dumps. I'm not ready for that. I'm getting too old. I'm sorry. I don't know if I could handle that with my body at this point in my life. But yeah, so these are not going to be the production run gaskets. The production run is going to have 2.2 mm gaskets, but the ones I'm using is 2.1. 6 gasket points, 4 up top, 2 on the bottom. Doesn't matter if you put it on the case or the plate, whichever is most convenient for you as a builder. And then this is not the production run gaskets, so you will not have to cut it, but these are a little thinner than the intended. I showed this earlier, but I'll show it again. But so these lights are really bright, right? But if you look in the case, this part is raised and the diffuser is screwed in. So hopefully this should help with some of the bleed. Because I think one of the concerns that people are saying, like, what about the light bleed? Because it's such a, you know, with LEDs, light bleed is definitely a thing. But it's very smart of DD to basically create walls to contain it. So let's use DSA, Magic Girl, the dark base. So Misa will just like meow outside his door. Are you taking a dump? Do you not hear her howling for you? Alright. Don't mind my Togepi collection. It is not as big as you think it is. Okay, we did it. It's been a while since I've seen a full-size spacebar 40. Yeah, I mean, if it were up to me, I would have done split, but thankfully they sent me a 6U wire. So that's why we did 6U. 2 hours later. Whoa! Wow, that's like still super bright. Hold on, let me change it. So you can do a bunch of different colors. So you can disable it. You could do a solid color. You can do like a gradient. So this is gradient up, down. You can do gradient left, right, but I guess you can't really see that. You can do like a breathing. You can do cycle all. Oh, this is rainbow beacon. So with vial, here it is. It is alloy plate, lavender switches, a Wuque stabilizer, DSA magic girl. I'll do a sound test so you guys can hear it. So let's talk about the board. I mean, it's a small board. It's not as heavy as like other boards that I've built, but yeah. So while the lights are extremely bright, there's actually walls. The plate also has a cutout to basically contain any light bleed that may show through. And then this part is a diffuser that is screwed on, so you don't have to really worry about it shifting or anything like that. And then if you guys have any questions that, you know, if I wasn't able to answer, or if you think about it later on, I would suggest joining DD's Discord and asking DD. Super nice person. Thank you to Cannon Keys and DD for, you know, letting me build this board. Today I learned there's 6U spacebar, and that 40 support is really hard. So when in doubt, DSA it out.